while the world dozes off. I'm constructing my schemes, blueprints of the future in the fragments of dreams. Sleep is the cousin of death, I'm avoiding the kin. Eyes wide open, let the journey begin. Through the labyrinth of thought where the weak hearts break. But I'm digging through the darkness, chasing dawn before it wakes.
The globus never sleeps, 'cause sleep is the cousin of death. I'm out here breathing deep, while the rest waste their breath. No rest for the wicked. I'm wide-eyed and driven in the silence of the night. My thoughts stay vivid.
Ink spills from the pen like a river through my veins, flooding every page with the echoes of the pain. I'm a wordsmith with a purpose, carving truths from the lies. When the world's counting sheep, I'm counting how time flies. Insomniac mind, every second is a weapon. In the war against the clock, I'm always stepping. Sleep's a cousin I disown, no comfort in the night. Just a canvas for my thoughts, painted in the twilight.
The globus never sleeps, 'cause sleep is the cousin of death. I'm out here breathing deep, while the rest waste their breath. No rest for the wicked. I'm wide-eyed and driven in the silence of the night. My thoughts stay vivid.
Dreams are for the sleeping, but I'm living in the real. Grinding through the dark where the truth is revealed. Every thought a spark, every line a fuse. I'm a torch in the night, no time left to lose. The world's spinning slow, but my mind's in a race. Chasing every moment, there's no time to waste. Eyes like a hawk, seeing every crack and crevice. In this waking life, every second is precious. I keep my thoughts sharp like a blade in the night. While they're lost in their dreams, I'm honing my sight. Sleep is a cousin I've learned to forget, 'cause the globus never sleeps, there's no time to rest yet.
The globus never sleeps, 'cause sleep is the cousin of death. I'm out here breathing deep, while the rest waste their breath. No rest for the wicked. I'm wide-eyed and driven in the silence of the night. My thoughts stay vivid. October show.
I'm dying again. What up, Twitch? What up, Twitch? What up, Twitch? What up, Joint Specialist? What up, Anti-War Machine? What up, Stellar Wingman? What up, Kai? What up, Cosmic? I will not die. I'm immortal. I will live forever. Just FYI. Well, Cosmic, what I can say is on my end, today is Wednesday, and Wednesday indicates that I am, in fact, streaming on my end. The other thing is that I will stream every morning, Monday through Friday, every weekday morning, I will stream unless I either tell you otherwise or I post in the Discord that something has come up and I will not be streaming. So, if the schedule in some way indicated to you that I was not streaming this morning, you can rely on the words coming out of my mouth. Yes, Stampy is here. Please temporarily. Do 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 do. If I give you snacks, you're just gonna reject them. So I haven't gotten new snacks yet. All right. We got a bunch of news to get to, and we only have an hour to do it in, so let's be about it. Everything Google announced at I/O 2025. Do 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 do. Do boo do boo. Let's see. Google just held its big I/O developer shindig and product announcement event today in California. As it has for the past couple of years, Google continued to go all in on AI. In an I/O keynote address, Google executives announced new AI features coming to absolutely everything. It's in Android, Search, Gemini, and sooner or later, a pair of Google smart glasses. So, Gemini juices up. Google Assistant, the occasionally useful, I found it very useful, go fuck yourself. Occasionally useful digital servant at the bottom of your phone is being replaced more or less everywhere by Google's AI usurper, Gemini. Google announced a slew of updates to Gemini, the most impressive of which is Gemini Live. This new feature combines input from your phone's camera, voice command, and an agent-like ability to search the web, make phone calls, and collate information for you. It's an extension of the experiments we saw last year that were codenamed Project Astra, where Google's machine intelligence engine can describe what it sees through a connected camera. This is very similar to some of the features that rolled out through OpenAI for ChatGPT. Bloop, 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 bloop. Can I help you? He's tapping. He's just tapping away. Gemini is making. Do you want to sit in my lap? Want snack? What up, Ribbons? All right. Gemini is making its way into Google's suite of productivity apps too, the most illustrative of which is a new feature in Gmail called Personalized Smart Replies. It uses AI to absorb your personal writing style and preferred syntax, culled from all your notes, emails, docs, spreadsheets, and uses it to generate long replies to emails that match your personal voice. With personal smart replies, I can be a better friend. Well, you might be able to be a more like polite friend, you know what I mean? Um yeah, he's saying it is because he'd have to skip responding to the emails because he's too busy being a CEO. But some of these Gemini features will be coming to users of Android and Google's web apps for free, but others and the more powerful feature sets will be available via paid subscription. Google's $20 a month AI premium service has been renamed to Google AI Pro, and the cost stays the same, though it now comes with more limited features. Google AI Ultra, the company's full suite of AI services, has increased to $250 per month. It's $50 per month more expensive than OpenAI's similar full suite plan. We'll see how that works out for him. Creative professionals and programmers take note. Google's enhancements to its creative tools will either make your job easier and more productive, or it will render you obsolete. Jules is an asynchronous coding agent that aims to let you. I love you, dude, but you gotta stop, man. He's like a petulant child over here. Dad, 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 dad. Where the hell were we? Asynchronous coding agent that aims to let you take a rough design scribbled on a napkin and turn it into a full-fledged illustration or code while showing you the work it did along the way. There's also a new version of Google's AI image generator called Imagen 4 that Google claims can generate much more detail in images, like textures in AI generated paintings or custom text in music posters. Google also has some new generative AI video tools like Flow, a tool made specifically for AI movie creation. It lets you upload photos or illustrations of characters, props, and scenery, then animate it all into a short movie using text prompts. Don't have photos, you can just type a generative prompt to make the visuals right inside Flow. And you build a narrative video scene, narrative video scene by describing the action in the text box. The company illustrated Flow by showing a generated video of an old man using a giant chicken in the back seat to make his car fly. The video didn't look great and weirdly plastic, but it got the point across. Also included is the update. In the update is an enhanced video generator called Veo 3 that Google says has a better understanding of material physics for smoother and more lifelike animations. Last year at I/O, Google unleashed its AI overviews enhancement to search results. Your mileage may vary. A feature that summarizes results from across the web at the top of the screen for some queries. The results were famously varied, from being just plain busted to having hilarious hallucinations to showing actual plagiarism. Nevertheless, Google is now giving its search experience an even shinier AI sheen. To that end, Google is making search much more chatbot oriented with its new AI mode. This search feature was first announced in March of 25 as an experiment, and now it's available within the default Google search experience for everyone in the US. AI mode appears in a tab within your search results. You can switch over to it with a click if it's available. Google says AI mode is designed to answer more complicated search queries that can factor in a variety of questions. It won't give better results for everything, but trickier queries should get more satisfying results. And it also is apparently a shopping assistant. Android XR, like nearly every tech company out there these days, Google is investing heavily in its glasses game. Under the purview of its Android XR efforts, Google is simultaneously working on a full-size mixed reality headset and slimmer eyewear that looks just like regular glasses. Again, I would prefer something that's an attachment to existing glasses, as I already wear glasses, and like, how would that work, right? I go and I buy a XR or AR glasses, and then I take them to my optometrist, and then they send them out to have the lenses fitted. That just sounds like a place where my shit's gonna get broke. The company held a live demo showing off the capability of its Android XR glasses. While on stage, a pair of Googlers, or prototypes of the glasses around the event, streaming an augmented reality display that showed text, maps, and pictures, all of which appeared smack dab in the center of the wearer's vision. Aside from some hiccups in the streaming and an awkwardly stilted demo of the platform's live language translation abilities, the rest of the features seem to work fairly well. Excuse me. It's not yet clear how bulky the glasses will be, but the prototypes were largely indistinguishable from regular glasses, if a little chunky. And I don't have a problem with chunky glasses. At the very end of the presentation, Google's CEO announced a couple different efforts to battle climate-fueled disasters. What up, one guy? Maybe it's a way to not quite atone for all the energy its AI efforts gobbled up, of course. In spite of this being inaccurate, you got to throw that in there. FireSat is a proposed satellite constellation that Google plans to launch over the next several years that aims to use AI to spot wildfires in the earliest stages. Google said the system can detect fires as small as 270 feet, though for now it only has one satellite in orbit. Pichai also touted Wing, a drone delivery service that was used to deliver medicine and supplies during Hurricane Helen. Pichai said he hopes to scale up these efforts in the future. Demis Hassabis. Of course. You saw that. I was just reading it, and then it says, hey, you've run out of free articles. Hey, no, I haven't. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Quiero año felicidad. Demis Hassabis, Google's AI boss, says Gemini's new abilities point the way to AGI. Demis Hassabis, CEO of Google DeepMind, says that reaching artificial general intelligence, or AGI, a fuzzy term typically used to describe machines with human-like cleverness, will mean honing some of the nascent abilities found in Google's flagship Gemini models. Google announced a slew of AI upgrades, which we just covered. Bloop, 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 bloop. Hassabis showed off some experimental AI offerings that reflect a vision for artificial intelligence that goes far beyond the chat window. Baby, I just met you. This is crazy. Here's my number. Call me maybe. And it didn't play for you because desktop audio is off. Now it's on. Thank you for the follow. What up, Maddie? Cut what out? What did I even do? I'm just a small bean. Psh. My favorite time to sing Christmas music is late June, early July. You don't know me. The way we ended up working with today's chatbots is, I think, a transitory period. Hasabi says Gemini's nascent reasoning, agentic, and world modeling capabilities could enable much more capable and proactive personal assistance. You got my cable. You got my cable. Truly useful humanoid robots and eventually AI that is as smart as any person. At I/O, Google delivered DeepThink, a more advanced kind of simulated reasoning for the Pro model. The latest AI models can break down problems and deliberate over them in a way that more closely resembles human reasoning than the instinctive output of standard large language models. DeepThink uses more compute time and several undisclosed innovations to improve upon this trick, says Tulsi Doshi, product lead for the Gemini models. Google today unveiled new products that rely on Gemini's ability to reason and take action. This includes Mariner, an agent for the Chrome browser that can go off and do chores like shopping when given a command. Mariner will be offered as a research preview through a new subscription plan that's the $250 for Gemini Ultra. Google also showed a more capable version of Astra. What up, Tariff? Ad for sports bras? Who doesn't like sports bras? Well before AGI arrives, AI promises to upend the way people search the web, something that may affect Google's core business profoundly. The company announced new efforts to adapt search to the area of AI at I/O. Google will roll out an AI-powered version of search called AI Mode. We covered that. Okay. Some AI researchers and pundits argue that AGI may be just a few years away or even here already, depending on how you define the term. Sabi says it may take 5 to 10 years for machines to master everything a human can do. Still quite imminent in the grand scheme of things, but it's not tomorrow or next year. Hasabi says reasoning, agency, and world modeling should not only enable assistants like Astra, but also give humanoid robots the brains they need to operate reliably in the messy, real world. DeepMind is currently collaborating with Apptronics, one humanoid maker. A number of other companies, including big players like Tesla and startups like Agility, Figure, and 1X, are also building humanoids and touting their usefulness for factory and warehouse work. The ways these robots can be used is, however, very limited because they lack general intelligence. What is missing from robotics is not so much the robot itself, but its understanding of its physical context. Hasabi said, adding that this is especially true for a home robot that would need to operate in complex and unfamiliar environments. You really just want my attention, don't you? Here, how about you say hi to chat? Oh, real quick. Oh, a chunky boy. He's a chunky boy. He's a big old chunky boy. He's the biggest of the chunky boys. He's a chunky boy. Okay, we good? Oh, okay. I have a job to do. If you want snacks, I have to work. Blip, 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 blip. Oh, nice. I hope it's a good one. Stampy is a happy cat. Aren't you? Aren't you happy? The only thing he's not happy about now is that I'm not doing a Stampy attention stream, and I'm talking to no one that you can see, right? Hasabi says that AI must become more inventive. What up, Asa? I probably need more books, right? That is always an argument that you can make. Could today's models invent general relativity with the knowledge that Einstein had in 1900? Clearly not. Humanity. Thank you for the subby, homie. Google is currently exploring ways to coax greater.
You'll be back like before. I will fight the fight and win the war.
3 months in advance. Everybody is prepaying, making like we're doing contractual obligations here. I have to continue to stream. I am obligated to continue to stream, Stampy. Go on, Moose. Keep going. No, you got my. Quit complaining about money. It still ain't enough money. I'm still gonna have to get a job. All right, so that's enough out of Google. Up until the singularity. Yeah, if the singularity would hurry up and I could, assign an AI agent to generate funds for me, that'd be cool. No, he left. He left. He wants different treats. He wants some variety in his life. It's something that cats do. They will be happy. They will be happy with whatever they're eating, and then all of a sudden out of the blue change their mind and not want to eat that anymore. It happens with the wet food too. Removing the weakest link in electrified autonomous transportation. Humans. This is from Ars Technica. Thanks to our new global tariff war, the wild world of importing and exporting has been thrust into the forefront. There's a lot of logistics involved in keeping your local Walmart stocked and your Amazon Prime deliveries happening, and you might be surprised at how much of that world has already been automated. Yeah, I heard it too, Maddie. Excuse me. While cars from autonomy providers like Waymo are still extremely rare in most stretches of the open road, the process of loading and unloading cargo has become almost entirely automated at some major ports around the world. Likewise, there's an increasing shift to electrify the various vehicles involved along the way, eliminating a significant source of global emissions. But there's been one sticking point in this automated electrified logistical dream: plugging in. The humble act of charging still happens via human hands, and that's changing. At a testing facility in Sweden, a company called Roxys has demonstrated an automated charger that works with self-driving electric trucks from Einride in a hands-free and emissions-free partnership that could save time, money, and even lives. Shipping ports are pretty intimidating places. Towering cranes stand 500 feet above the ground, swinging 30-ton cargo crates into the air and endlessly moving them from giant ships to holding pens, then turning around and sending off the next set of shipments. Gee willikers, man. That cargo is then loaded onto container handlers that operate exclusively within the confines of the port, bringing the crates closer to the roads or rail lines that will take them further. They're stacked again until the arrival of their next ride. Semi trucks for cargo about to hit the highway, or empty rail cars for anything train bound. Believe it or not, the entire process happens autonomously at some of the most advanced ports in the world. The APM terminal in Rotterdam Port is, I would say, in the top 3 of the most advanced terminals in the world. It's completely automated. There are hardly any people. Let that sink in. We also looked at that video from like a year ago, where one of the Chinese ports, I don't know how many of the Chinese ports, but one of the Chinese ports, also almost entirely automated. All the human beings stay up in an office and just make sure everything's working properly. Eliminating the human factor at facilities like ports reduces costs and increases safety at a workplace that is, according to the CDC, 5 times more dangerous than average. But the one link in the chain that hasn't been automated is recharging. Those cargo haulers may be able to drive themselves to the charger, but they still can't plug themselves in. They need a little help, and that's where Roxas comes in. And this is it, right? Now, this is a standardization process. They having the charge port at a particular height. Now, theoretically, you could raise this up and down, etc., but within a given framework of where the charge port is, then you could have it automatically charge. What up, Brad? Where's the dog to keep the man from touching the equipment? I mean, they're there. They're in the office, but I'm thinking there's no dogs. I could be wrong though. There's another image of the the charger and the automatic system. Yeah, and yeah, it's a huge it's a problem, Maddie. It's a problem. What up, Dojo? What's for lunch? I think a steak. I go to the supermarket and I get the yellow tagged steaks, like when I get them, and they're like, they have reached the amount of time that they can be available, and so I buy them and then I make them the next day. Saves money. Still good. So yeah. Automation. Not marinated. I do salt and pepper and like it's all in this combo. It's like a dried garlic, salt and pepper, and I shake it on, and a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of butter, and about 2 minutes aside, and good to go. Sometimes steak sauce, sometimes not, sometimes something else, sometimes not. Speaking of automated vehicles, driverless big rigs between Houston and Dallas will now have someone in the driver's seat. Now, there are people who are going to read this headline and tell you that, look, there's something wrong with the automated driving. And again, it's not the case. Earlier this month, we told you about a driverless trucking company that was running up and down I-45 between Houston and Dallas. We covered this here as well. That company, Aurora Innovation, is reversing course a bit. It is not in any way reversing course at all. The company said it will be putting a human back in the driver's seat. You might wonder why. According to company co-founder and CEO Chris Urmson, the change came at the request of one of Aurora's partners, right? The client wants a human in the seat. And the client gets what the client wants, generally speaking. It has nothing to do with the efficacy of the system and everything to do with the request of the client. A message posted on the company's website from Urmson reads, in part, one of those partners, PACCAR, P-A-C-C-A-R, requested that we have a person in the driver's seat because of certain prototype parts in their base vehicle platform. We are confident this is not required to operate the truck safely based on the extensive testing covering nearly 10,000 requirements and 2.7 million tests, an analysis that populates our safety case. PACCAR is a longtime partner, and after much consideration, we respected their request and are moving the observer, who had been riding in the back of some of our trips, from the back seat to the front seat. So they were in the truck already, and they're just moving them into the front seat. Aurora said the human will only observe but not actually drive the truck. It will still be automated. The company said this change will have no impact on near and long-term development plans. Okay? What up, Raza? It's not something I think we're ready for yet. Self-driving requires so much infrastructure, and with vehicles not in the system mixed in, and keep a person there for a sec. No, it operates fine. That's the point I'm trying to make. It operates fine. Before I leave, check this out. No, I don't want any of your bullshit. The truck operates fine. The client just wants someone in the front seat because the client isn't ready. Now, there's an advantage, obviously, being in Texas. I assume that the general weather in the area is generally consistent. We'll see how Waymo adapts to Boston, because Waymo is doing testing in Boston now, and we'll see, both from the weather and the Bostonians. Bostonites? Bostonades? Waymo, speaking of, says it reached 10 million robotaxi trips, doubling in 5 months. This is potentially, right? Could be a sigmoid curve, could be exponential growth. But doubling in 5 months, that's a lot. Old Lobster, what up? Here to talk about the UK rail. In the UK, the Tunnel Underground Rail, as it's upgraded, does not require a conductor driver, but the union will guarantee the job of any conductor driver until their retirement, so the requirement is sometimes good. Yeah. And also, now to be fair, there are advantages on a rail system that a automated truck doesn't have, right? Generally, if you're on the rail and you get hit by the rail car, you fucked up, right? It's a proprietary place for the rail car to be. So it has less issues to run into regarding stuff entering the road or people cutting it off, etc., etc., etc. But it is an example of automation in action. Waymo co-CEO Takedra Mawakana said or told CNBC on Tuesday that the Alphabet-owned ride-hailing company has reached 10 million trips, doubling in the past 5 months. These are all paid trips, and they represent people who are really integrating Waymo drivers into their everyday lives. The 10 million figure also includes rides in Austin, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and the Phoenix area. Yes. 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 That doesn't change anything that I said, Maddie. Waymo is delivering more than 250,000 paid robotaxi rides a week. On Monday, Waymo said it had won approval to expand its autonomous ride-hailing service to more parts of San Francisco, including San Jose. Is Cruise making another shot at it? Like they have come and gone and come back and gone, and we'll see. We'll see. The robotaxi revenue in the overall category. I don't care about that. Proving it can be a profitable business. Tesla promising to launch its robotaxi service in Austin next month. Start with 10 vehicles and rapidly expand to thousands if the debut goes well with no incidents. We shall see. Mawakana said that Waymo is taking what it views as the safest path, where Musk has chosen the more ambitious path, if you say. There's probably a lot of ways it can be done, but we're the only ones that have done it. We've been doing it 24 hours a day for almost 5 years. And so to us, it's really important to focus on safety. Not focus on safety and then cost. Or really important. I think they meant to say it's really important to focus on safety, not cost then safety, right? Safety then cost, not cost then safety. In trucking, like a lot of skill-based jobs, they fired the old guard without having them train the new people a lot. It's the hollowing out of the middle. We talked about that in a variety of industries. Yeah. Not many skilled truckers led to more accidents, hours, drug use. Blame the drivers who fired them. It's not a pretty industry. Was in shipping and receiving for a bit. Watched it up close at the start. Yeah, and like a lot of people play fuck games with the semis too, and it's just I put a lot of it on human fuckery, as I do most things. And speaking of electrified automated vehicles, 93 miles on a 1-minute charge. So, Maddie, I was driving on a section of highway called the 190, and ahead of me was a semi, and that semi was driving in its lane. Now, if you've ever seen a semi, some of them have these, like, for aesthetics, these spiky caps that go on the lug nuts, right? And so I'm watching this semi drive, and it's traffic, right? We're in traffic. It's slow. 190 is not the speed limit, though some people seem to think so. Yeah, like Ben-Hur, right? And it's an aesthetic thing, and it's whatever, right? Whatever you want to do with your vehicle, it doesn't impact me at all. But I watched this SUV come on the on-ramp on the merge lane, and it just kept going. And it went right into the side of this semi. Like, how did you not see the semi? It's a semi. It's huge. It literally, there's no blind spot with the semi. It's a fucking semi. And I watched it shred all those things, and they came flying backwards. And so they had a whole problem to deal with now. And that's how I drive. It wasn't a Tesla. It was just some random dipshit in an SUV. And remember that most people who drive SUVs are only one step down from a Tesla, right? it's pretty much Teslas, BMW drivers, VW drivers, SUVs that aren't covered by the previous categories. Like there's a hierarchy of, you know, special drivers on the internet. I'm just telling you what I see. I admit my sample size is problematic, but people who drive VWs seem to think that they can go as fast as they want to. What up, Robotech? I apologize if I called you out. Y'all need to take care of your brethren in the VW community. Not my fault. It literally happened on my way bringing my son back from the from his internship, right? I made a turn into the thing, and then dude made a turn, and he was like all up my ass, and apparently I wasn't going quite fast enough because then he swings into the other lane and takes off. And I was in the slow lane where I belong. Anyways, 93 miles on a 1-minute charge. China firm unveils world's first 1400 amp EV battery. The battery charges at 12C, meaning it can have a full range of 450 kilometers in just 5 minutes. Right? This is getting at the point where it's comparable to refueling your vehicle, right? At a gas station. Pull into the gas station, you hook it up, you're there for 5 minutes, and you can take off again. Just be safe, Robotech. Just be safe. Chinese battery manufacturer SevB has unveiled the world's first 1400 amp ultra fast charging battery that delivers over 93 miles range on a single minute's charge. And another thing, like most people, this would cover them going back and forth to work for at least a day, if not two, right? Like most people don't travel more than 30 miles on a daily basis. So you can come in, you can charge for a minute, take off. Some versa. With demonstrations of long-range driving, electric vehicle batteries address one of the key concerns among potential buyers. Range anxiety. A full battery of an EV today can deliver the same range as a full tank of an internal combustion engine powered vehicle. So the battery makers are tackling the next major problem, that of refueling time. A gas stop for an ICE-powered car is barely 5 minutes. However, EVs take considerably longer to fuel up to deliver a similar driving range. EV battery makers are keen to reduce the time difference and are aiming to higher charging rates measured in C. A 4C charger can fill an EV battery in 15 minutes, but SevB's newest offering takes this up a few notches by charging at 12C or just 5 minutes for a full battery charge. Very cool. Very cool. Again, proprietary bullshit is not going to help us. Let's talk about Darth Vader. So we are covering the Screen Actors Guild SAG-AFTRA labor strike related to the video game voice actors industry, right? Here's the thing. And okay. So for those of you who don't know, Fortnite recently added Darth Vader as a NPC, I guess. That's AI powered, right? The Screen Actors Guild American Federation of Television and Radio Artists is filing an unfair labor practice charge with the National Labor Relations Board against Epic Games after the company implemented an AI voiced Darth Vader NPC in Fortnite last week. The complaint, which can be viewed here, alleges that over the last 6 months, Llama Productions, owned by Epic Games, has failed to bargain in good faith with SAG-AFTRA's video game actors and has made unilateral changes to terms and conditions of employment without providing notice to the union or the opportunity to bargain by utilizing AI-generated voices to replace bargaining unit work on Fortnite. Fortnite added the AI Darth Vader last week as an NPC character that can join or leave your Fortnite squad and have conversations with players over voice chat in the persona of Darth Vader. Though the AI Darth Vader has been programmed to offer support for individuals who express they might be struggling with mental health, Epic Games also had to patch it almost immediately after it launched to keep it from dropping F-bombs. Now, I don't give a shit. I drop F-bombs. I think it's fine. But in a kid's game, I can see, well, we're about to talk about James Earl Jones. The character of Darth Vader was originally voiced by James Earl Jones, who passed away in September of last year at the age of 93. His AI recreation was done with the blessing of James Earl Jones's estate. With his family stating that James Earl felt that the voice of Darth Vader was inseparable from the story of Star Wars, and he always wanted fans of all ages to continue to experience it. We hope that this collaboration with Fortnite will allow both longtime fans of Darth Vader, which is a weird thing to say, and newer generations to share in the enjoyment of this iconic character. This is his estate. What are you you can't judge this, right? Yes, he did. He absolutely did. And that is not in question that he did that, right? It's whether or not it's okay to use it in the video game. And according to his estate, which is how this works, if they're good with it, then I don't understand what someone else gets to say. Right. Wait, well, you said James Earl Jones would never want his voice to take other people's jobs. By authorizing people to use AI to replicate his voice, he's taking someone's job, right? Animated Batman, as an example. Animated Batman has been voiced by a variety of different actors to varying degrees of success, right? Maddie, you're arguing with the concept of whether or not an estate has the ability to act on behalf of the deceased. They authorized it, so it's good, or it's okay, or whatever word you want to put in the end there. However, the use of AI voices at all by Epic Games presents a major issue for SAG-AFTRA, given its efforts to come to an agreement on a contract for its video game performers over the last year. The video game performing members of the union have been on strike for around 10 months. The strike was started specifically due to a lack of agreement on AI provisions, even as 24 out of 25 other contract proposals had been affirmed by both sides. And this is the sticking point. This is where we're still at today. I mean, they put dead celebrities in the friggin' the Forrest Gump movie. The AI mimic programs are pretty decent. Heard one for Henning May, a very unique singing talent from Germany. Got his voice and style of singing down well. Why is that different? Hard to tell what legality will surround it, but it's there. Yeah. From what I heard, I caught a short of somebody talking to AI Darth Vader in Fortnite, and they were having a good time. Everyone was having a good time. Why is it different from the ads? They're using the likeness of a dead person to sell a product. The product is a movie as opposed to a vacuum cleaner. What's the difference? Do, 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 do. Absolutely. The whole reason Darth Vader is in Fortnite is to promote the Star Wars general product line, whether it's the movies, TV shows, toys, lunchboxes, what have you, right? That's why Darth Vader is in Fortnite. That's why everything is in Fortnite. That's why fucking Warhammer 40K and the Avengers are in Magic the Gathering, for crying out loud. You know, like every time you see some cross promotional thing or something in fucking Call of Duty, any of that stuff, that's to advertise the other product. You're going to see cross promotion just continue to proliferate because if you like the Avengers and you like Call of Duty, you might like to be Captain America in Call of Duty. You know what I mean? I mean, fuck, I've been playing Space Marine 2, and if I could, as opposed to using, I'd play Vanguard, so he's got the grappling hook. If I could be Spider-Man, I might consider it. What up, Beef? Final Fantasy? Oh God, yes. the the Doctor Who ones. Like I really wanted some Doctor Who Magic the Gathering cards, but the shit is just way too expensive, man. Way too expensive. Yes. The prices. Like, oh my God. No, it's not. You know, advertising is advertising. I can imagine. It's an entirely like the. I would say that the Final Fantasy fandom is much broader for $90. No, wait, whoa. For a booster pack, like from not like in aftermarket, right? Because aftermarket. So for those of you who don't know, Magic the Gathering, you can get starter decks, right? Which come in a box about this big. And then there's like, I don't know, 12, 15, something like that of starter decks in a box. And then you get booster packs, right? Similar size box. And then it's those little packets of like you get about what 10, 12 cards per pack and like that. And now we used to do this hardcore. I used to play around from Ice Ages to like Urzas. That's where I played. And I rarely, if ever, bought a box of boosters, but I had a friend who would buy one every payday, and we would sit there and open up the packs. And that ran, I want to say like $130 to $150 for that. You're telling me that wouldn't even be enough to buy 2 of these packs? What up, Textillion? What up, Nemesis? These days they play Commander. Yeah, that's another thing. Like everything has changed, and it's one of the problems with with something like Magic the Gathering is every new.
Baby, I just met you. This is crazy. Here's my number. Call me maybe.
Thank you for the follow. Nemesis, you know Twilight Imperium? Twilight Imperium. I was talking about that the other day. Twilight Imperium is great. It just takes a forever to play with like a full. But yeah, it's fantastic. I can't remember what I was saying. It's just too much. I don't understand. Oh, yeah, no, I was talking about the power creep. There's a power creep that exists in Magic the Gathering, right? Because you have to constantly invent new abilities and new things. And I knew I got out way before this, but I knew that they were fucked when they started introducing cards where if you get to this card, you win the game. It's like, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. I don't want to hear any of that noise. I don't want to hear any of that nonsense. You better earn your victory. Press B to win game. Exactly. Uh-oh. It's 12 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock on my clock. Did James say he was going to be late or not at all? I had a plan. Yo, it's about that time. Yeah, that's the thing, Nemesis, is like if you get a fully stacked game, I know James is not streaming. I'm trying to figure out why James is not streaming. If you get a fully stacked game of Twilight Imperium, that's 8 players, right? You have a whole. I will show you. Somebody holler at me when James is streaming. I'm going to show you Twilight Imperium real quick. So this is Twilight Imperium, right? I'm sorry, 6 players, not 8 players, 6 players. James is in pre-roll? Okay. So this is Twilight Imperium. Like, this is the Yellow Empire. The cats, right? There's a race of cats there. Everything you could possibly want is in this fucking game. And you know, and you start off here, and then you expand your little empire. You begin taking over planets and get different technological abilities. If you've ever played a video game that is one of these 4X type video games, like Stellaris or something like that, Twilight Imperium gives you that in a board game. But again, it takes for maximum effect, it does take you know, a full complement as people and and like a whole day or two sometimes, depending on how much analysis paralysis your teammates or your fellow players have. But all that notwithstanding, still fantastic. Still fantastic. All right, I'll be back this evening at 5 p.m. Eastern. If you're here for the news, I will be back tomorrow morning. Again at around 11 and like that. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. In the meantime, drink your water, eat some food, take your meds if you forgot, and always remember that Shoggy loves you. And so do I. Be great.